Real Madrid are the greatest team of all time. Today, I've relegated Madrid and only have 10 seasons to take them back to the very top by winning a UCL three-peat or their first ever treble. And as I take over Real Madrid, who are now in League 2, like I mentioned, the goal is to either win Real Madrid's first treble or go ahead and once again win the UCL three-peat. And throughout these next 10 seasons, we will be making decisions that will get us closer to one or the other. And this is the current Real Madrid side, but of course, we are not allowed to keep any of these players, as all of them are going to be released. However, it is time to make our first decision, and the two options we do have is to go ahead and keep the academy players that are world class, or keep the young youth academy players that we have in our side. And boys, this is going to be an interesting decision. If we keep our world class academy players, we will get to keep the likes of Alvaro Carreras, Captain Dani Carvajal, as well as decent Fran Garcia. However, if we do decide to keep our young youth academy players, we will be able to keep multiple players that are already in the squad, as well as Gonzalo Garcia and Raul Asensio, who have amazing potential, and this will help us eventually win the three-peats of the Champions League. And I think the decision I'm going to make is to actually keep our youngsters, as we will have more players available straight away. So of course, this does mean we have to go ahead and release our world's best players in Mbappe, Bellingham, and the rest of the side. So as every player has been released, this is the brand new Real Madrid side, and let me tell you, it looks absolutely horrendous. But we do have some amazing players we need to build this team around in Gonzalo Garcia and our brand new captain, Raul Asensio. In terms of the formation, we're going to be rocking the 4-3-3 attack for these next 10 seasons to build Real Madrid's brand new identity. However, there is some great news. We actually have 5 million to spend. Should we go ahead and make some transfers that will help us get to the treble quicker, or go ahead and hire some youth academy scouts to continue our youth growth, which can help us win the three-peats by getting some amazing young talents? And boys, this is very interesting, as we already have a 5-star scout, and we can go ahead and hire 2 more, and within 2 or 3 seasons time, we can have a full youth academy 11 with amazing potential. However, the decision I'm going to make is to actually make some transfers. As much as I love our youth academy talents, I want to sign some players that have experience in professional football. And in terms of players we need to sign for our positions, we definitely need a new center back, as well as an attacking mid and a winger on either side. And after looking around the transfer market, I found 3 perfect players to join our side. And taking a look at our first 2 players, we do have Marvin and Victor Munoz, 2 players who actually came from the Real Madrid Academy, and I think can help us promote to the next division. And the final player is Vijo Gebel, a brand new wonder kid in FC26, who is playing for RB Leipzig with upwards of 80 potential. So I've gone ahead and brought back Marvin for 1.2 million. For 1.3 million, we've also brought back Victor Munoz. And for 1 more million, we have brought in the brand new wonder kid in Vigo Gebel. Hopefully, these 3 new signings can go ahead and get us to La Liga as soon as possible. And this is the brand new starting 11, and I can't lie, it's looking pretty good for a La Liga 2 side. But as you guys noticed, there's a lot of Real Madrid Academy graduates. I'm very excited, as I want one of these Real Madrid Academy graduates to win the Ballon d'Or. Subscribe and comment down below who you think it might be. But of course, one final thing I had to do was hire scouts, as I got a 4-star in the attack while the rest were 1-star, and we did not have enough money for a goalkeeping coach. Somehow, Real Madrid are broke. Well, of course, we only have 10 seasons, but we will also have unexpected events as well as players who want to leave. This is going to be my hardest FC26 challenge yet. And as we were going to the end of our first season, we have gotten our first unexpected event, and Gebel has requested a leave of absence. Of course, we're going to go ahead and give it to him, because we do not want him leaving, as he is the future of Real Madrid. And boys, we have gotten another unexpected event. It's chairman interference. Basically, the chairman is very dissatisfied with our team performances and wants us to implement a different tactical vision. And honestly, that is going to be a tough decision. We just started using this formation. I believe we're only a couple months in. I'm not sure if I want to rotate my players. However, 7 games into the season, we are sitting in 20th place with only 4 points. Maybe the chairman is correct here. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a huge risk and actually maintain this formation, because it fits all of our best players in Gonzalo Munoz and Gebel and Asensio. But if things don't turn around, we might get sacked. And we are at the end of the first season, and Victor Munoz was a star player with 17 goals and 7 assists. But our 55 rated right winger got 9 and 1, while Gebel got 7 and 9, and Gonzalo got a lowly 6 and 2. But you know what? It's okay, because our squad is going. Gonzalo is now at a 73. Munoz went up a +5 to a 70, while 2 of our midfielders are looking pretty strong, while Pitarch isn't really that good. And I can't lie, our defense is looking solid with Marvin, Asensio, and Gonzalez all above a 70 overall. But did we avoid last place this season? And you know what? It's a decent season. We finished in 15th place, which is around mid-table. It was a huge improvement from the second to last place we were in earlier. I knew I could trust my tactics. But of course, right now, we're nowhere near the treble or the 3P Champions League. But with 9 seasons left to go, we surely have a lot more decisions to be making. And to begin season number 2, we do only have 6 million this time around. That's not enough money to take us to La Liga. However, already we have a decision to make in the brand new season. And that is either to go ahead and sell our captain Raul Asensio or keep our captain who can eventually help us win the UCL 3-peat. And boys, this is an interesting option because Asensio does not want to leave as he is the captain, but he is worth a value of 32.5 million. But I think the decision I am making is to keep Raul Asensio. He is our captain, which does push us closer to winning that UCL 3-peat. So of course this season we will only have 6 million to spend, and we do have a couple of positions we need to improve, like that other center mid position, a right winger, and maybe either of the fullbacks. But let's see what kind of talent we can find. And boys, I can't lie, I have found some amazing options to add to our team. The first player I have found is Ryan Messi. Yes, there's a guy named Messi, and he could play that right wing and only worth around 2 million. And for that center mid position, we can go ahead and sign Alejandro Granados, a young center mid, around 3 million. However, there is another option in Cole Campbell, who probably will be the next Pulisic. 71 overall, but it's worth all of our money of 5 million. And that is our next decision. Should we go ahead and sign a superstar wonder kid in Cole Campbell for all of our money? Or should we prioritize signing more players to go ahead and build a squad for an eventual UCL 3-peat? And I think once again, I'm gonna go ahead and choose more players instead of one to get closer to the UCL 3-peat. So for 2.2 million, we have signed Alejandro Granados, a young center mid. And for 1.5 million, we have signed Ryan Messi. And if you can get anywhere close to Lionel Messi's level, we can go ahead and lead Real Madrid back to the very top. As Messi and Granados join the side, I can't lie, we might be one of the favorites to win La Liga 2 and go straight to La Liga, which will change the trajectory here at Real Madrid as we have 9 seasons left. The good news continues as I've upgraded our coaches. Now every single coach we have is a 4-star, including adding our first keeper scout. And boys, I can't believe it, we have gotten an unexpected event, and it's actually a good one. Money injection. The owners are pleased with the club's trajectory and have given you a cash injection of 29.5 million. Boys, this is going to change everything. And the good news is we are currently in January, so we can actually make some signings or just one. And you know what? We are doing a good job, currently sitting in second place, looking like we're going to promote. And to be honest, this squad does still need a lot of improvement, mainly on the defensive areas. So maybe I can go ahead and find 2 fullbacks as well as a center back to get ready for La Liga. And let me tell you, I have found 3 brilliant options for our defensive line. The first one being Victor Reis, who is still at Man City, but of course is not getting any game time. The next player is Hector Ford, somebody who used to be in the Barca Academy, but is now playing for Frankfurt. And the final player is Aiden Haven, who could play in that left back position where we will be playing him. So we've gone ahead and splurged our 30 million on 4 different players. For 8 million, we have signed Victor Reis. For 5 million, we've signed Hector Ford. And for 5.3 million, we have brought in Aiden Haven. And for our final 12 million plus Fran Gonzalez, we have brought in Belgian keeper Mike Pender, 78 overall, who's gonna be the next Thibaut Courtois. And speaking of Courtois, something else I want to do in these next 10 seasons is to go ahead and bring back one of the amazing front 4 in Real Madrid, in Vinny, Mbappe, Jude, or Rodrigo. But obviously, we're nowhere near making that decision yet. And now, all because of an unexpected event, we now have the best team in La Liga 2. Halfway through the season, we're definitely promoted to La Liga. And boys, what a season we have had. Ryan Messi with 29 and 10. Gonzalo had an amazing season with 22 and 4 and 17 and 9 for Victor Munoz, while the rest of the side are putting in their numbers. And that means we have gotten our first Golden Boot winner in Ryan Messi, while Gonzalo was lacking behind. And I can't believe the growth of this squad already. Gonzalo and Munoz are both above us 75 overall, while Ryan Messi went up a +6. And to be honest, I'm not surprised considering they're in the team of the season. Our midfield specifically is looking pretty weak other than Martin. I'm surprised this guy has had some potential. And Raul Asensio and Mike Penders are our first players in an 80 overall, while the rest of our defense is looking pretty decent. And yes, of course, we have won the league title, going straight to La Liga. And to kick off season number 3, we do have 65 million to spend on transfers. But of course, we're gonna have some decisions to make. But before we make those decisions, this is exactly what our team is looking like. I think as of right now, our defense is set. I think these guys will keep us up. But I'm not sure if our midfield and our attack are looking the best. And here comes a decision we have to make. Should we go ahead and sign 2 superstar attackers? Or should we go ahead and sign 2 superstar midfielders? And if we take a look at our team once again, I can't lie, I don't know if I want to replace either of Gonzalo, Munoz, or Messi just yet. So the decision I'm going to make is to sign 2 superstar midfielders, getting us closer to that UCL three-peat. And let me tell you boys, I have found 2 superstar wonderkids to sign in Kendrick Paez from Chelsea, Joe Bellingham, Jude Bellingham's brother, and they're both going to be under 30 million. So let's sign them up. So I've gone ahead and made it happen. For 23 million, Kendrick Paez joins the side, and for 28 million, we have signed Joe Bellingham, which could open up potential transfer to Jude Bellingham in the future. And now as the new signings on the side, it may not 100% secure relegation. Just know in the future, these 2 midfielders will be starting. However, something else came to mind. I did mention a world-class midfield can go ahead and win you trophies in the future, like a UCL three-peat, and that brings me to Mario Martin. At 23 years old, he's already at a 76 overall, definitely overachieving his potential. And his current valuation right now is 10.5 million with a year left on his contract. That brings us to the next decision I have to go ahead and make. Should we go ahead and renew his contract, or should we go ahead and sell him or swap him out for another young midfielder? Well, as of right now, I do not need to make that decision, but by the end of the season, I will need to decide if Mario Martin is one for the future or has only been used as a stepping stone. But as I upgrade our goalkeeping coach to 5 stars, let's see how we do in our first La Liga season. But straight away, we get an unexpected event, and that is Kendrick Paez is homesick. Like Gable before, we're gonna go ahead and help him settle, but hope that we don't lose somebody like him, because we just spent 23 million on him. And a couple more months pass, and once again, Kendrick Paez has come in with a leave of absence. I'm not sure if I'm liking this attitude. I understand he's homesick, but we're gonna give him some time off, and I might be looking for a new superstar cam at the start of next season. And currently, halfway through the season, Mario Martin has come into our office and has asked us to go ahead and give him a new contract. So this is where we go ahead and make our decision. 1 year and 5 months left on his contract. Should we go ahead and keep Mario Martin, or should we go ahead and sell him or swap him? I can't lie, I have been very impressed of how much he has succeeded. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make the decision and keep Mario Martin. That gets us closer to that treble, and give him a brand new contract. And it seems like we had a great first season, as Gonzalo gets 18-1, Ryan Messi with 15-9, and Victor Munoz with 11-6. And Kendrick Paez also had a decent season with 3-7. However, he has already submitted a transfer request, now at an 80 overall. I knew there was something going on. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of him in the brand new season. But regardless, this is exactly what our team is looking like, and it's looking pretty incredible. We got Gonzalo Garcia, Kendrick Paez, and Joe Bellingham in the 80 squad, while Asensio and Penders have reached an 85, while nobody in the starting 11 is below a 75, which is absolutely brilliant. As Gonzalo Garcia finished in 6th place in the Golden Boot race, but it was won by Endrick, who's at Barcelona. That just doesn't look right, man. And I can't lie, it's a brilliant first season. We finished in 6th place. Here I thought we're gonna finish in the bottom half of the table, which means we have Conference League football next season, and I want to win that competition. But so far, so good, as we have 7 seasons left to either win our first ever treble or win 3 UCLs in a row. And already in season number 4, we have 109 million to spend as we're trying to win the Conference League. And of course, there are a couple positions that we can go ahead and improve. We can go ahead and sign a superstar to replace Kendrick Paez, or even a superstar to replace Ryan Messi, or even spend our 100 million signing 3 different new defenders, as Hector Ford, Victor Rice, and Alfie Haven have not grown successfully. So we have that decision to go ahead and make. Sign a superstar attacker that will take us closer to the treble, or go ahead and spend it on 3 new defenders. And I think this time around, I want to go ahead and sign a superstar attacker. And boys, let me tell you, we have a tough decision to make. Should we go ahead and sign a striker or right winger in Endrick, who can replace either Gonzalo Garcia or Ryan Messi? Or should we go ahead and replace Kendrick Paez with either Nico Paz or Arda Güler? Another tough decision to make. And to be honest, I think the decision I'm going to make is to sign a center attacking midfielder, which takes us closer to winning the treble. And now the question is, should I sign Arda Güler or Nico Paz? So for 92.5 million plus Kendrick Paez, I've decided to bring in Nico Paz an 87 overall. And the reason I signed him is because he can play center mid and can move down in the future if we want to bring in Jude Bellingham. But as Paz joins the side, he can actually be one of the Ballon d'Or winners that came from the Real Madrid Academy. Now that Nico Paz has joined the starting 11, we did take a huge risk on not only Ryan Messi to continue to grow, but the rest of the defense that is in Asensio. And hopefully this is enough to continue to climb up the table and win that Conference League. And something interesting has happened. Endrick, playing for Barcelona, has won the Ballon d'Or. Maybe instead of bringing back Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, or Bellingham, we bring back Endrick. And it turns out we were in the Europa League and we have reached the final against Fenerbahce. And boys, this could change the trajectory of my career here at Madrid in the 4th season. Can we already qualify for UCL? And no, we lose 2-0 as El Nassiri and Skriniar disallow us Champions League football. However, at the end of the season, we went 1 worse and finished in 7th place. And we failed to win our first trophy in the Copa de España. But regardless, our players continue to perform. 26-4 for Ryan Messi, 23-7 for Gonzalo Garcia, 11-17 for Paz, and 11-7 for Victor Munoz. And I can't lie, our team continues to grow an insane amount. Gonzalo Garcia is now at an 85, while Nico Paz is our first 90 overall player. I know I chose the right player. However, our defense still continues to look weak other than Asensio and Mike Penders. So I think that's the players we need to sign next. So now with 6 seasons left to go, the question is, are we gonna win the three-peat or are we gonna win our first ever treble? So to kick off season number 5, we do have 90 million to spend. And of course, it's very clear that we need to upgrade our defense. And I've gone ahead and made a short list of 3 players I would want at Real Madrid. The first one being bringing back Dean Huijsen, who's at an 87 overall, but he's worth 92 million. And the other 2 players I want to bring in is Miguel Gutierrez and Pedro Porro, 2 amazing Spanish fullbacks. So we have that decision left to make. Should we go ahead and bring one of the best center backs in the world? Or should we go ahead and sign the 2 amazing fullbacks that will help us set up for the 3P UCL? And I can't lie, boys, I want quality in this team, so I'ma go for Dean Huijsen. So for all of our 90 million, we have brought in Dean Huijsen, and hopefully he can go ahead and help us climb up the table, as we need to get Champions League football by season 7 if we want to achieve that three-peat. And as Dean Huijsen has returned to the starting 11, it's the only decision we have to make so far. Let's see if we can go ahead and qualify for Champions League football. And we have gone ahead and received an unexpected event, and it is called Inside Access. A production company wants to go ahead and film a documentary on our teammates that could make us more money. However, it could apply more pressure to our team. And all of a sudden, we do have a decision to make. If we do accept this offer, we could get enough money to eventually bring back one of the superstars from Madrid. However, if we do reject, our players are pressureless and none of them will want to leave. So I think the decision I'm going to make, I'm risking it all. I want to bring back Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo, or Bellingham. So I'm accepting the documentary. I hope nobody wants to leave. And boys, we have the chance to win our first trophy as we're in the Conference League final against Bayern Munich. And winning our first trophy is going to be very important so it can prove that we can win Champions Leagues as well. Can we go ahead and do it? And it's a 2-1 loss. 5 seasons in and we have yet to win a trophy with Madrid. However, there is some great news. We finished in the top 4, qualifying for the Champions League for the very first time. That means up next, I would want the La Liga title. And Victor Munoz has his best season yet with 29-9, 21-5 for Ryan Messi, and 21-3 for Gonzalo Garcia, while Paz, Bellingham, and Martin continue to impress. And just take a look at this super team that we have built so far. Dean Huijsen is the second player to join the 90 squad, while other than our fullbacks, the rest of the side is upwards of an 84 overall, meaning it's probably time to upgrade our 2 fullback positions. And to begin season number 6, we have been given 250 million. So for 45 million, I've gone ahead and brought in 84 rated Malo Gusto, and for 53 million and 85 rated Ainuri from AC Milan. And our squad has now improved significantly with the 2 fullbacks. However, I still feel like we're missing a superstar in that front 3. As good as Gonzalo, Messi, and Munoz have been, I think we need somebody with bagloads of Champions League experience. And well, I did mention I want to win the league title, so what better way to win it by stealing one of Barcelona's players who have won the league title in the past? And that leads me to my next decision. Should we go ahead and steal Endrick back from them, or should we go ahead and steal Lamine Yamal, who will help us win the three-peat? And this is a very tough decision, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring back Endrick, which will lead us closer to winning that treble. So for our final 130 million, because he had 12 months left on his contract, we are signing Ballon d'Or winner 91 overall Endrick as he returns to Real Madrid. So as Endrick has returned to Real Madrid, we need to make another decision of where exactly should he play. Should he go ahead and replace Gonzalo Garcia and play up top, or should we go ahead and replace Ryan Messi as he is the lowest rated? And that gives Endrick a couple seasons to go ahead and build up to that UCL three-peat. And I think this time around, I'm gonna go ahead and replace Ryan Messi, as I think Gonzalo Garcia has been better than him. So now this is exactly what the brand new starting 11 is looking like. I wonder if we could potentially win our first Champions League, or maybe end the challenge by winning the treble. And it's an incredible first season for Endrick. 29-8 at right wing is pretty special. special. 23-2 for Gonzalo Garcia, 22-12 for Victor Munoz. He's really shining. And I can't lie, our team is looking like a Champions League winning side. Gonzalo Garcia is about to hit that 90 overall alongside Joe Bellingham. Mario Martin has exceeded expectations, is now at an 88. While for the first time in my career, this defense is actually looking pretty balanced. And no, boys, we just missed out on the La Liga title by 2 points. But it seems like we weakened Barcelona as they finished in 7th. And new signing Endrick would be great. But the question is, did we go ahead and win the Champions League? And no, it's between Dortmund and Leverkusen, as we got knocked out in the round of 16. It feels like we're missing one of those Real Madrid superstars that I need to bring back. And now with 4 seasons left to go, if we do not win the Champions League next season, it will be impossible to win a 3-peat UCL. And we have arrived to season number 7, and we have a total of 234 million, enough to sign one ex-Madrid superstar. And to be honest, out of the 4 ex-players, I think these 3 players are the only options. But the question is, should we go for a left winger in Vinicius Jr. or Mbappe? Or should we go for Jude Bellingham to perfect that midfield? And I can't lie, boys, I think I have to go for an attacker. So we're going to go ahead and go for Vinny or Mbappe. And out of the 2 players, I think this time around, I'm going to go ahead and go for Vinicius Jr. as he is way younger and more importantly, has won a Champions League with Real Madrid. So for a whopping 200 million, we have gone ahead and brought back Vinicius Jr. back from Chelsea. And surely that has secured our first ever Champions League by the end of this season. But the question is that going to be a treble or not? So as Vinicius Jr. has returned to the starting 11, our team is looking absolutely incredible. No excuse to not go ahead and win our first Champions League. And it's another great season for our attack. 30-9 for Endrick, 24-7 for Vinny on his return, and 22 for Gonzalo Garcia. And boys, we have reached the point where almost the entire starting 11 is at a 90 overall. Everyone barring Malo Gusto, Mario Martin, and Ainuri are the world's best players. But did we go ahead and reach a UCL final, or maybe even win a treble? And sadly, the treble is not on, as we finished in 4th place, 14 points behind Sociedad. And we also failed to win the Copa de España, man. Come on, we need to be winning these. But yes, we have reached the Champions League final, meaning the 3-peat is still possible. But I believe we have yet to win a trophy with Real Madrid. Can this be our first one? But the question is, can we beat this PSG side who have Mbappe, Bellingham, and Kolo Muani up top? That is ridiculous, man. But can we go ahead and keep our cool as Nico Paz is suspended? That isn't gonna help. But can we still go ahead and win our first Champions League? And yes, we have, as Malo Gusto and Endrick have won us our first Champions League. And as we win our first Champions League, we get ever closer to that 3-peat, as we need to win it in the next 2 seasons. But we get our first Ballon d'Or winner, and it's Vinicius Jr. No Real Madrid Academy player just yet. And now in the brand new season, this is what our team is looking like, and I'm not sure if we need to upgrade anybody. However, there is a decision to make here. Should we go ahead and maintain our side, or should we go ahead and sign some of the world's best players in each position? And I can't lie, I really like this team. I want to trust them, so I'm gonna go ahead and maintain this team, not sign anybody, in hopes we can win the Champions League once again. And at the end of the season, we have done it. We have finally won La Liga, meaning the treble is on. And we have also won the Copa de España, meaning if we're in the Champions League final, we can complete the challenge here if we win it. And oh my days, boys, we're in the UCL final against Man City. Can we go ahead and complete the treble? But before we have the chance, Endrick gets 26-9, Vinicius gets 29-9, an incredible season, 24-3 for Gonzalo Garcia, while Nico Paz has his best season yet. Well, I gotta shout out the rest of the side. Some of these players have been here forever and have been absolutely insane. And this could potentially be the final Real Madrid side. Some of these players, like I mentioned, have been here forever. The likes of Asensio, Mario Martin, and even some of our bench players in Munoz. With 1 game left to go, can we go ahead and complete that treble? But it's not going to be an easy game, as this is Man City's current lineup. The attack is looking pretty good, and Donnarumma's still in goal. But the record is a little bit dodgy, so we might be able to win tonight. But can we go ahead and do it? Real Madrid were relegated and released most of their players. Can we go ahead and finish the job and win this treble? And it's a 1-0 victory, as our captain Raul Asensio has completed Madrid's first ever treble. And that goal has won Asensio the Ballon d'Or, being our academy winner. But if you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen to watch me take over the worst team in FC 26.